All right, folks, listen. This is a live stream, and in this video, I'm going to be showing connections about this my prediction of June 11th for Washington State. There's going to be some type of horrific event in Washington State on June 11th. So you got to get out of Washington State, okay? And I have another prediction too. I have two predictions, okay, which I've had for many years, and it's coming to its end, okay? Do you understand? It's about to pop off. It's going to be on June 11th, Washington State, and August 4th, Trump head wound is in Ohio. So those are the two predictions. August 4th, Trump head wound. June 11th, Washington State event. Okay, you got to get out of Washington State before June 11th. Okay, now, how does Elvis connect to this? Elvis is the real Antichrist. Trump is the image of the Antichrist. He's the Antichrist in the flesh, because they're mocking God. Because when Jesus was walking the earth as God in the flesh, God was still in heaven. Okay, because Jesus is the image of God, and Jesus is God. All right, and that is why what they're doing is they're mocking God, because Trump is the one who's going to be crucified. You understand? He's going to get his head wound on August 4th, and he's going to heal from his deadly head wound. All right, and the world is going to wonder after the beast. Okay, and he's playing the part of Jesus, God in the flesh, and Elvis is playing God in heaven. That's what you're seeing here, okay? Because Elvis is the real Antichrist. Trump is the image of the Antichrist. He's the Antichrist in the flesh, Trump. Anyway, so I told you guys about what the crown represents, okay? There's two crowns. There's the letter O, which represents a portal, a head, a crown, a womb, an egg, a ring, but it's mainly it's a crown and a portal, the letter O, okay? Or a zero. And so Elvis is looking for his crown, right? And the other crown is the W, right? Like Washington has the W on it. The W looks like a crown. And just like the number 3, if you turn it sideways, it would look like that, right? And so you'll see what I'm showing you right now. So remember, the letter O represents the crown, okay? So Elvis with the letter O, which is the crown, because that's what he's looking for. Elvis with the crown equals 8228 forward, okay? And notice it's got the 8 backwards too. So it's 828 that way and 828 this way too. And you remember Trump's text where you would text his number? It was 8822, his text. So it's right in there too, And of course, the 110, you know what that connects to is the Twin Towers, both at 110 floors. There's lots of connections here. And Elvis was born on the 8th day in the year 35. And then June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. On a leap year, it's 163, and we're in the year 225. So there's a lot of connections here on why the Elvis crown thing is super important and how it connects to June 11th being the 162nd day. Okay, and we're in the year 225. But look, Elvis with a crown equals 8228. That's what's important right now, the 8228, okay? Focus on that. And also, the Elvis with a crown equals exactly the word portal. Because I told you, everything's about Elvis, because I told you they're going to birth the beast out of the sea. Elvis's image, his name, the number of his name, or all three are going to end up somehow being a part of the mark of the beast, probably through the image of Trump, okay? Because Elvis is going to enter Trump. You'll see. Anyway, so Elvis with a crown equals exactly the word portal, okay? Now, why am I bringing this up? Because look, keep watching. You know the horse Seattle Slew? This horse, Seattle Slew, won the Triple Crown on June 11th, the year Elvis died. The year Elvis died was, he died on August 16th, 1977. This horse, Seattle Slew, won the Triple Crown that same year on June 11th. And slew means to violently kill. It's the past tense of the word slay. Seattle equals 82. Seattle Slew died at the age of 28. So do you understand what I'm showing you? If you just saw what I just showed. Elvis with a crown is 8228. Portal is 8228. Same numbers, right? Seattle equals 82 because Seattle's in Washington. Seattle Slew died at the age of 28. And you know, I told you they're going to birth Elvis, the beast out of the sea, because that's what that is. It's the biblical beast out of the sea event. E-L state. It's an anagram for E-L, which means God in Hebrew, and then the word state. S-T-A-T-E, okay? Because Washington is the place where all this is going to happen, Washington State. So we're talking about the 8228, right? So the Space Needle in Seattle, it opened on 421. The 82nd prime is 421. And remember, Seattle equals 82, okay? You see what I'm saying? And you know what I forgot to put here? Because you know the word Seattle, its backwards number is 107, and the 28th prime is 107. I actually forgot to put that in there. What was I thinking? I think I put it in later. So check this out. Remember, we're talking about the 8228 because that's, remember, Seattle equaled 82 and Seattle Slew died at the age of 28, and the word portal equaled 8228, and Elvis with a crown equaled 8228. 8,228th prime number is 84421. And I told you Trump's going to get his head wound on 84. And you know, the Pope died on 421, which was the 63rd anniversary of the Space Needle opening date, because the Space Needle opened on 421. And look, 4 times 21 equals 84. See, it's right in the numbers, see? 84, 421. 4 times 21 equals 84. And I told you Trump's going to get his head wound on 8-4 and then come back on maybe 4 days later on 8-8. You know, I mean, when I say come back, like open his eyes. Okay? Anyway, the point was that the Space Needle opened on 421 and the 82nd prime is 421. Anyway, back to what I was showing. So it gets better, folks. Just watch. And make sure you thumb up the video. It gets way better. Just pay attention. So Elvis with a crown equals 8228. Portal equals 8228, right? And I told you Seattle equals 82. And Seattle Slew died at the age of 28, right? All right. Here's where I put it, the 28. But look, so the 82nd prime equals 421, right? And the 28th prime is 107. If you add it up, you get 528. So what's important about this? Remember, we're talking about the 8228 connection, right? Because everything connects with Elvis in the portal, 8228, 8228, and then the 82nd prime and the 28th prime adds up to 528. Now, why is this important, this 528? Look, remember, it connects to the 8228. The prime numbers for Elvis's death date, 8/16/1977, adds up to 528. You see it? The day Elvis died, his prime numbers equaled 528, and the 82nd and the 28th prime equals 528. 528. The 528th prime is 3797. And the prime numbers for 37 and 97 add up to 666. You see it? You see what I'm saying? Everything with Elvis has to do with the 666. Okay, if you watch my all my 666 videos on him, there's like 7 parts. Okay, so the 528th prime is 3797. The 37th and 97th equals 66. You see the prime numbers. So that's why the 528 connecting to his death date prime numbers and connecting to Seattle 8228, the Seattle being the number 82 and Seattle dying at 28. Okay, it's 528. All the 8228 connections, right? You understand? Okay. And also, if you go from the first of the year to this year, 611, but if you go backwards from this year, 611, go back 528 days, it lands it to the first of the year. So basically, 528 would be 611. You know, that's another connection to the 528. Okay. So remember, we're talking about Elvis being 8228. All right. Elvis with a crown, the letter O, and it equals exactly the word portal. And Seattle equals 82. Seattle Slew died at the age of 28, 8228. Take those numbers. What is its kind of its opposite number? What is the opposite of 82? 82 minus 100 would be 18. 28 minus 100 would be 72. If you add that up, it's 90. Look, see, I told you Elvis needs the 9. He was born on 1/8. He needs that 9 with a crown. See? 82 is the 18. The 28 becomes a 72. And you add it up, you get 90. 1/8 to the 9. See? You see what I'm talking about? 82, the 8228 connection has the connection to Elvis's birthday and his current age being 90. Okay? And we're talking about the 8228s. Look, if you went from Elvis's birthday forward 8 years, 2 months, 28 days, it lands on 4/4. And you know 4/4 is very important because MLK was killed on 4/4, and it was in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived and died. So the king had the king whacked because Elvis was known as the king also. And from that day forward to 6/11/25 is 82 years, 2 months, 8 days. You see how it's got the 8228 again? You see what I'm talking about? Because we're talking about the 8228, right? Okay. Now, if you went 82 years and 28 days, it lands right here. And then from there, if you go to 6/11, it's 8 years, 4 months, 8 days. And I told you Trump's going to get his head wound on 8/4 and return 4 days later. He opens his eyes on 8/8. So it's just a lot of, I'm just showing you the connections with 8228. Okay. Now, like I said, some parts are a little convoluted, but it gets better. Now, from Elvis's birthday, if you went forward 8,228 days, it's 22 years, 6 months, 11 days. From Elvis's birthday, it's 8,228 days because we're talking about the 8228 in this video. It lands on this day, and it's 22 years, 6 months, 11 days. And from that day to 6/11 this year, it's 67 years, 10 months, 24, 25 days. And I told you guys that 1 through 24 and 1 through 25 is the reset numbers. And Elvis equals 67. But look, here it is right here. We're in the 248th year of America. It's going to turn 249 on July 4th after my prediction. And look, you have the 00, which I told you is the reset number, and then 01, which is the year we're in right now. Do you understand? We're in the 1 to the 25 year because we're in the 25th year, right? And the 00 started this year. I mean, it's the 00 is the reset, and then 01 would be the restart. Okay, that's what we're in right now. And America's 248 years old. You understand? Which also connects to my birthday, 9495. You know, if you've been watching my videos, you know what I'm talking about. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, you're not going to understand this. You have to watch my videos. Go to the live section of this channel, and you'll understand all this stuff. Okay? Now, from Elvis's death, because we're connecting all the 8228s, from Elvis's death, if you go forward 8,228 days, it lands on 224, and it kind of hits the 225. If you don't add the day, it'll hit the 225 also. And I told you those are the reset numbers, 2024 and 2025. And look, it's the reset 00 connection. Okay, that's why that year you had the Seattle Kingdom demolition, which happened in the year 2000, and the next year you had the 9/11, which was in 0/1. Do you understand? You had the 00, which is the reset, and then 0/1, which was 9/11. Okay? It's all about the reset, 2024, 2025. Okay? 24th hour is the 00 in military time, and then 25 would be the 1. And then from that day, if you go forward to 6/11, it's 9,240 days. And what's important about this is that Elvis's birth and Elvis's death, if you add it up, you get 924 with a crown. See, it's got the crown, 920, it's 924 with a crown, see? Do you get it? And of course, 9/2 is Neo's birthday, and 9/4 is my birthday. And he was born in Beirut, Lebanon, just like me. He was born 2 days before me in the same hospital. Okay? Now, let me just talk to you guys. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, you're not going to understand this video. By the way, folks, can you thumb up the video? You're not doing it for me. You're doing it for the algorithms to help people see the video. But so right now you're probably saying, I don't understand. It's too convoluted. You know what I mean? That's why I said if you just take your time to understand what I'm trying to show you is the connections with this 8228, which is Elvis with a crown. That's all I'm showing you right now. Okay? And like I said, it gets better. You'll understand where I'm going with this in a moment. Just give me a second here too. Yeah, I've mentioned that before. Someone's mentioning because in Hawaii, that's Elvis's favorite vacation place. King Kamehameha Day is June 11th every year. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, Obama was born there. And, you know, Obama was born on August 4th, the day Trump gets his head wound. I told you Elvis was in Hawaii when Obama was being conceived, or when he was being born. I can't remember now, because he's been there a few times, Elvis. It's his favorite vacation place. All right, so like I said, just keep watching. It's going to get better. I'm just giving my hand because I told you I have very bad arthritis, folks. So just give me a second here. We got a long way to go still. So I told you Elvis needs the crown, right? Now look, I'm not going to show you the crown connection with January 8th. Oh, well, actually I should. Hold on one second. Let me just show you this. So if you were to add the crown on Elvis's birthday, let me show you that first. So let me show you that one first. So if you were to add the letter O to January 8th, which is Elvis's birthday, it equals 162 forward, 216 backwards. That's June 11th, 162 day of the year, and 216 day of the year is August 4th. So what I'm trying to say is it connects with the crown. I'm saying it's June 11th and August 4th, the days. Okay, with the crown. I told you everything's anyway. Back to where I'm talking about. So anyway, the only day on the year that equals the exact same as January 8th is April 11th. January 8th equals April 11th. Okay, now why is that so significant? First of all, I told you it has to do with the fact that 94, 95 days, it's really 94 days, but 95 on a leap year. And that's my birthday again, but it's also connected to the fact that we're in the 248th year of America, which would be September 5th, 248 years. Also 9/4 on a leap year would be 248, which is my birthday, 248th day of the year, because it was a leap year, 9/4. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. January 8th equals April 11th, okay? And why am I bringing that up? Because on the Roman calendar, the old Roman calendar, 6/11 is 4/11. That's why. 6/11 is 4/11. The 6th month is actually the 4th month of the Roman calendar. Okay? So 6/11 would be 4/11, and January 8th equals April 11th. Elvis's birthday, January 8th, equals the exact same as 4/11. Okay? And from Elvis's birthday to 4/11, Oh, that's what I didn't say. I'm sorry. From Elvis's birthday to 411 is 94, 95 days on a leap year. Okay? Not from the first of the year. Elvis's birthday, from Elvis's birthday to April 11th is 94, 95 days. Anyway, so 611 is 411, and Elvis's birthday equals exactly 411. Sorry, folks. I'm getting a little confused because I have so much in my mind. So 611 is 411. And the 411th prime is 2833. Why am I bringing this up? You'll see right now, okay? So remember, a lot of the focus I've been showing you has the 28 in it, all right? If you've been watching the video with the 28, because Seattle Slew died at the age of 28. And you'll see what's important about the 33 in a moment, okay? But remember I was telling you about the 528 earlier when you saw Elvis Presley's death date had the 528 and all the other stuff I showed. Elvis Aaron Presley with the number 33 and 28 equals 528. If you just put Elvis Aaron Presley's full name, 3328, it equals 528, okay? And that's what I was showing you earlier. Now, why am I bringing this up? You'll see right now. So we know how important the 28 is because I told you Seattle Slew died at the age of 28. All right. And the 411th prime is 2833. Roman calendar 611 is 411. And I told you that if you wrote out January 8th, Elvis's birthday, it equals 411. Same exact. Equals April 11th. All right. Now, what's important about the 33? Because 33 is the first number that has these connections. Because, first of all, the 15 is the crown. The letter O is the 15th letter. Then you have a 666, or if you go this way, 614 is Trump's birthday, and 141, June 11th equals 141. And you have 611 or 614, Trump's birthday, or 666 across. You have 22. You know what I mean? There's just, the 33 is the first time you see the 666 with a crown. Okay, and plus you have, like I just said, 611 and 614. 614 is Trump's birthday, and they all connect, okay? And look, if you go to the June month chart that I created years ago, I told you the June is the 6th month, right? The first time you see it, the next time it would be the 18th and the 30th, the 42nd, every 12 months, right? The 14th number down is 162, okay, which is June 11th. Hold on. June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. So you have the 162 and it's at the 614 mark, or the 141. I told you June 11th equals 141. If you just type, if you type the words out, June 11th, it equals 141. And it's got the 411, 411, which is the 611. Do you understand? 611 is the 411. I just showed you that. 611 on the Roman calendar is 411. And 614 and 611. You saw all that. You see what I mean? It's all right there. Okay? And so it stops at the 162, which is June 11th, with all these other connections that I just showed you. Now, why is the 33 so important? Besides what I showed right here, 33 is the first number that does that. Also, let me show you why. Because Elvis, his name equals 67, and backwards it's 68. 67, 68. 67, 68 is the first prime numbers that have the 33s in it. And the 33 is very important because it's the number of ascension. Because Jesus was crucified at 33 and he rose from the dead at 33. Okay, so that's what they say according to the Bible. 67, 68. See, 67th prime, 68th prime is the first time you see the 33s. Okay, and notice it says 135. Oh, and by the way, 189. Elvis needs the 9. I told you he's born on 18, right? Same thing here. See, 8, 9, and 1. Same numbers. But anyway, 135. Notice the 135 up there? Look at this. Washington State was founded on 11/11/1889. It's 135 years old right now. Washington State. So there's another connection right there. And 100. And if you add up all the numbers between 1 through 135, it equals 918. I mean, 9180. There's your 189 and a crown. Elvis is born 18. His current age is 90. And Washington State is 135, right? 135, 9180. 9180, you see? And 918 on the Julian calendar converted to our calendar would be 95. And I just told you what 95 is 248. You understand? It's the 248 years. It's the 248 day. America's 248 years old, okay? And so I was showing you that Washington State equals 135. If you go 1 through 35, like the 135, get it? 1 through 35, it equals 630. The 63 with a crown. And JFK, he was the 35th president. And he was killed in 63. And there's that head, the crown, the head, And speaking of the 1 through 35, look at this. Trump is the 45th president. 1 through 45 equals 1035. So it's again connecting to the 135 stuff, Anyway, like I said, it's convoluted. It gets better. Just calm down. It's convoluted, but I have to show you all that before I show you the more important stuff. Okay? You're going to see why I'm bringing up the 2833, 3328. You'll see in a moment. I'm sorry that it's taking so long to get to this, but what am I supposed to do? I have to lay the groundwork for it. So please don't judge the video until you see the whole thing, Hold on. I'm just giving my hand a rest for a second. I'm just catching up to the chat. Hold on. To everyone who's making comments, I'm not really looking at the chat, so I apologize. Like I said, it's trying to explain the unexplainable. That's all I can, make you guys understand how difficult this is, All right, let's keep going. So remember, we were talking about this, because I told you 611 is 411 on the Roman calendar, and January 8th, when written out, equals exactly the same as April 11th when written out. So that's why Elvis's birthday connects to the 411, and 611 is 411 on the Roman calendar. The 411th prime is 2833. Now you're going to see why the 2833 is so important, okay? Pay attention. So now you're going to see why it's all about the 2833. And of course, my birthday again. Remember, from Elvis's birth to this year, 611 is 90 years, 5 months, 4 days. That's my birthday. I was born on 9/4, but it landed on the 9/5 day because it was a leap year, okay? So from Elvis's birthday to 611 this year is the 90 years, 5 months, 4 days. But forget about that. This is what it is. 3328 days. 33,028. So you have the 2833 in the numbers. You see it? Do you understand? The 411th prime is 2833. Okay? And 611 is 411. And to 611 this year has the 3328 connection with a crown in the middle. Okay? 3328. Okay? And it just so happens that from Elvis's birth to 611 this year, I told you it's 33,028 days, to my next prediction from Elvis's birthday to August 4th when Trump gets his head wound is the 82. You think that's a coincidence too? I just told you that Seattle equals 82 and Seattle Slew died at the age of 28. The word portal equals 8228. The word Elvis with a crown equals 8228. Do you see it? Okay? Do you understand? So right now you're seeing what I'm trying to show so far, okay? Now, keep watching. So we're talking about the 2833 or 3328, right? The horse Seattle Slew, it won the Triple Crown the year Elvis died on June 11th. Elvis died August 16th that same year. Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown. Look at from Seattle Slew's birth to the day he won the Triple Crown. 3 years, 3 months, 28 days. Do you see it? 3328. You see what I'm talking about? 30 from Elvis's birth to 611 is 33028. You see? You see what I'm talking about? 3 years, 3 months, 28 days from Seattle Slew's birth to the day he won the Triple Crown. Okay? Now, and of course 9/11 is going to connect. From Seattle Slew's birth to 9/11 is 330 months, 28 days. Look at that. 33028. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? So pay attention. From Seattle Slew's birth to 6/11 is 3 years, 3 months, 28 days. From Seattle Slew's birth to 9/11 is 330 months, 28 days. Do you understand what I'm showing you? Look, 33028. Elvis's birth to 6/11 this year is 33028 days. Okay? And look, from Seattle Slew's birth, I'm about to break this phone. I'm serious. Man, I can't pick these stupid cards up. So from Seattle Slew's birth to the day the Twin Towers happened is 330 months, 28 days. 33028, you understand? Okay? You know, and from Seattle Slew's birth to Seattle Slew winning the Triple Crown is 3 years, 3 months, 28 days. Okay, it's all over the place, the 3328. Do you understand? Okay, give me a second. My hand's about to fall off. Ow! Sorry. Sorry, folks. I'm not even close to being done yet. So now look at, just, you have to pay attention to what I'm saying here, because you're going to say, what are you talking about here? If you go from 6/11 this year backwards, if you go backwards 28,033 days, it lands on 9/11. So remember, earlier I showed you, what I showed you earlier was this, that from Elvis's birthday to 6/11 this year is 33028. 33028 days. This is 28033 days. So if you went back from 6/11 this year, it lands on 9/11. It lands on 9/11. 28033. See it lands on 9/11 in 1948. It's got the 84 backwards. But you know why I'm showing you this? Because look at this. From that day on 9/11, 1948, if you go to Elvis's death date, look at that. 28 years, 11 months, 6 days. From that day, 9/11, 1948, to 8/16, Elvis's death is 28 years, 11 months, 6 days. Are you understanding that? Okay? Are you understanding what I'm showing? You have the 6/11 and the 28 or 82 connection. Because I told you, Seattle equals 82. Seattle Slew died at the age of 28. Elvis with a crown, the letter O, equals 8228. And the word portal equals 8228. All right? Are you understanding this? Is anyone not understanding this? Okay. Now look at this. If you were to go 3,328 days, look at the percentage. is 911.78%. 3328 days is 911.78% of a year. You know, that's how much the percentage of that amount of days is. Now look at this. It's funny that from my birthday to George Floyd, his birth is 3,328 days. And look at this. 9 years, 1 month, 10 days. There's that 911 with a crown. You see that? So 3328 days, like I said, is 911.78%. Okay? Now, if you think, now watch what I'm about to show here. So if you think this is a coincidence, what I'm about to show you, you know, all this is just a coincidence. Hold on. I'm just resting my hand. Wait till I show you this part. Yeah, that's right. In 1948, Israel was founded. That's right. On 5/14, it was founded. So remember, what I was showing you here. Let me just one more time. So remember all the 3328 connections I just made, okay, with this puzzle. All right, if you just go back and look at all the 3328s, you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, like I said, if that wasn't enough so far to make you, like, you know, your eyes pop out a little bit by what I just showed, wait till you see this. If this doesn't do it for you, then I guess there's no help for you. I'm talking about just for the 3328 connections. So when did the construction start of the Twin Towers? When they were, you know, when they, not the below ground, but above ground, when they started doing the actual tower itself. Construction began in 1968, which would be 33 years later when it was destroyed. When did it actually open? In 1973. You see it? 3328. I'm sure that's just a coincidence. Do you get what I'm saying? 33 years and 28 years. See? See how perfect that is? Like I said, if you believe in coincidences like this, there's no hope for you. Okay? Okay, so let's get back to this. So remember, the prime number, the 411th prime was 2833. And the Roman calendar, 611, is 411. Okay? And it just so happens that if you go from Elvis's birthday to 411, because remember, Elvis's birthday, January 8th, when written out, equals exactly April 11th when written out. And April 11th is 611. 611 is 411, okay? Because on the Roman calendar, 6 is the 6th month is 4th month. And look at this. If you look at the percentage, it's 33 years. I mean, the percentage for this amount of days, 33 years, 3 months, 4 days, is 33.28%. Now I'm showing you the percentage, and it connected to the 411. See, 33.28 again. Okay, and if you go, so that's from Elvis's birthday. But if you go from the first of the year, it lands on 4-4 or 4-5. Okay, it lands on both because the percentage can go up to a little bit more. You know, it lasts for a few days, like 3 days, I think. It changes over to 3329. But so the first of the year to 4-4, the 4-4 is the first time you see 3328 in the percentage. Okay, and And you know 4/4 is MLK because MLK was killed on 4/4, but it landed on the 4/5 because it was a leap year. Okay? Because on a leap year I'm talking about. And 4/4 landed on 4/5. And I told you that MLK was killed in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived and died. So the king had the king whacked. And then now Martin Luther King is named after the King County in Washington State. So there's a lot of connections to it all, okay? By the way, that noise you're hearing outside, it'll go away in a few minutes, okay? Just pay attention to what I'm talking about. So MLK's birth, look, from MLK's birth to the day the Space Needle opened, look, it's at 33.28%. See? Because remember, I was just showing you that from the first of the year, if you go forward to MLK's death date, is 33.28%. So from MLK's birth to the day the Space Needle opened is the 33.28%. Also, you see what I'm saying? Okay? And you know there was a Space Needle April Fool's prank where they literally came on television, and I mean it looked real too. The story looked real. They said that the Space Needle had collapsed. It was an April Fool's prank back in 1989, and to the day the Georgia Guidestones was destroyed. And I told you what the whole Georgia Guidestones connection was connected to Elvis and to the coming destruction of Washington State. Is the George, get it? And it's 33.28%. You see, 33.28 point whatever percent. Okay, and the letter O is the 15th letter of the alphabet, and backwards is the 12th letter. So the 1512 connects to the O also. Now, you know that George Washington died on 12/14. Look at this, 1214 days from Elvis's birthday lands on 5/5, which is Satan. Satan equals 55. Look, it's 3 years, 3 months, 28 days. Added up to 1214 days from Elvis's birthday to 5/5. So Washington's birthday 12/14. I mean Washington's death date 12/14. See, because I told you Washington is going to be destroyed. See, it's 3 years, 3 months, 28 days. You see, and if you remember earlier, I showed you 3 years, 3 months, 28 days was from Seattle Slew's birthday to the day he won the Triple Crown. You know. And also, look, June month chart. Remember I told you the June month chart, the first time you see June is 6, and then if you add 12 months every 12 months, the 28th time June comes around is 330. See that? Because remember, we're talking about the 2882, because Seattle Slew died at the age of 28, and the word Seattle equals 82, so it's right there. But look, it says 33. Look, 33028. Do you understand? 33028. That's how many days from Elvis's birthday to 6/11 this year. Okay. I could show you more about this, but I'm going to skip it. Interesting that Seattle, look at this, Seattle Slew, he won the Triple Crown on 6/11. 6/11's reverse date is 7/22. Because 6/11 is the 162nd day of the year, which leaves 203 days in the year. 7/22 is the 203rd day of the year. That's why 7/22 is its reverse date. Look, Seattle Slew, he was born on 2/15, died on 5/7. Look at that, 7/22. And he won the Triple Crown 6/11, see? 6/11's reverse date, 7/22. He was born on 2/15, died on 5/7, added up, you get 7/22. So the 6/11 went to the circle. Do you get it? To 7/22. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. And there's much more I could show you with that, but I'm going to skip it. And in between 6/11 and 7/22, for the most part, most of the years you'll get 33/29, 33/30, but sometimes at certain years, if you don't add the day, you get 33/28 days when you don't add the day, but in between. So there is connections there. All right, with that. Oh, folks, I gotta put it down. Just give me a second. Like I said, there's parts that are not so good, then it gets really good again. Just calm down. You'll see it. I know it's convoluted, but it has to be shown. Give me a second here. Like I said, there's going to be parts that are not so great. All right, let's keep watching here. And make sure you guys thumb up the video. So you know that I told you MLK died on 4/4, but it landed on the 4/5 day. So just remember that also. And you know Trump was the 44th person, but 45th actual president to take office, but he was the 44th person to take office. And you know Obama, who's born on August 4th, the day Trump gets his head wound, was the 44th president, right? But Obama was the 43rd person. But anyway, Elvis, his name equals 67, and Elvis was a twin. His identical twin died at birth, and that's why the Twin Towers fell 66 years after Elvis was born, him and the twin. Anyway, so Elvis equals 67, the word twin equals 66. Look, 66 plus 28 equals 94, which I told you is my birthday, and 67 plus 28 equals 95. I told you 94 landed on the 95 on a leap year, and we're in the 248th year of America, and 94 on a leap year is the 248th day, 95 is the 248th day of the year, actually. But 94 on a leap year would be 248th day. And 95 on a leap year would be 249, and we're in between the 248, 249 right now, and it's going to turn 249 after June 11th. So we're in the 248 period. So that's why it's got to be between the 94-95 connection. And notice, remember Elvis, twin equals 66, Elvis equals 67, and I'm connecting it to that 28 number. Square root of 44 is 6.6 and a bunch of numbers. 45 square root is 6.7 and a bunch of numbers. And if you put 44, 45 together, it's 66.67 and a bunch of numbers. So the point is that it has the 666 connection. It's the first numbers that have the 666 together like that. All right, at that number. Okay, so that's very important why Trump had to be the 44-45 president. Okay, and all the connections with 9495. But look at this. So, and you know my birthday's 94, but it landed on the 95 day. Look, the September month chart. The first time you see September is the 9th month, and the 21st month, and the 33rd month. See, look at this. 9/4 is the 45, which is super important to the puzzle. I told you that. And then 9/5 is the 57. And why is the 57 so important? You know, the Seattle Slew died on 5/7, right? On the 9/5 connection. Do you see what I'm saying? Now look, if you add up everything between 9 through 4, 9, 21, 33, 45, it equals 108. Elvis was born on 108. If you add it up to 57, all the numbers up to 57, you get 165. That's Trump's birthday, see? You see what I'm talking about? Why it has to be to the 4 to the 5. It lands here and here. Do you get it? Okay? That's why. All right? It has to be at the 945, which is my birthday connection, which has to do with the amount, which has to do with America's age, okay? Hold on. Let me just finish this. Anyway, speaking of Elvis equaling 67, you know June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. So what does Elvis need to get to 162? From Elvis equaling 67, what does he need to get to 162? He needs the 95, because 95 plus 67 is 162, because 162 minus 67 is 95. See? And what does 67 need to get to 95? 28. Do you see it? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because Elvis needs to get to 162. How does he get to 162? He's got to get the 95. But how does he get to the 95? He needs the 28. Okay, are you getting it, what I'm saying? Are you understanding it? I know it's so beyond ridiculous, but are you understanding it? Okay. Hold on 1 second. Oh man, my. Okay. Just real quick, I need to check something. I don't think I put it in here. Just give me a second. Anyway, so this part is not really too related to what this video is about, but it kind of is, but not really. Okay, watch. So you know that I told you that I don't even know why I'm showing this, but I'll just show it since I have it ready here. So, you know the prime numbers, the 8, because Elvis is born on the 8th day. And you know the Crown 19 sickness, which I told you is all about Elvis in Seattle. Okay? I'm not going to talk about it here right now. But, so the 8th prime number is 19. If you add up all the numbers between 8 through 19, it equals 162. That's June 11th. And Elvis is born on the 8th day. He needs the 1-9, remember? I told you Elvis needs to get to the 1-9, to the 9. Anyway, so 8 through 19 equals 162, right? And what was I showing that for? That's weird. I don't know what I did. I'm missing something here. You see Seattle equals 8219. 8 to 19, get it? 8 to 19. Like, you know how you say like from somewhere, like 8 to 19? That's what you're seeing here. 8 to 19. 8th prime is 19. 8 to 19. Get it? It's like saying 8 to 19, you know? And Seattle equals 8219. And you know I told you Elvis has been dead 47 years and Trump is the 47th president. And I told you the 28 is so important in this puzzle. 28 to 19, 28 plus 19, the 19 crown, get it, is 47. Even when you do it like this, 19th, 19 plus th equals 28. So 19th, the th equals 28 because t is 20th letter, h is 8th letter. You see what I mean? So even that has a connection, you know. And there's something here. Why did I put this? There's another card here. I don't know what the heck. But notice it's got the same numbers as Seattle, you know, 8219, 8219, 8219. You get it? 8219. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I gotta put it down again. Sorry. Just you just keep watching. Like I said, it gets better, folks. It gets better. You haven't seen anything yet. Like I said, it gets a little convoluted, but you don't have to remember everything. I'm just what I'm doing here is later on, you guys will come back and you'll see it. If they keep this channel up, then you'll just be able to see how it all matches. You know what I mean? After it happens, then you'll be like, oh, because you'll be paying more close attention to what I'm showing. No, it's just that my arthritis is really bad. All right, so let's keep going. Like I said, some parts are going to be really good. Some parts are going to be a little, convoluted. Anyway, so Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown June 11, 1977, the same year Elvis died. Elvis died on August 16th, that same year. And Seattle Slew died at the age of 28, right? So as I told you, the 28 is so important to this puzzle, The square root of 784 is exactly 28. 28.00000%, right? So 784 is the exact number of 28 for the square root. Okay, now why am I bringing this up? You'll see in a moment. But so 784 is so 28. Remember, because we're talking about the 28 here, having to do with this puzzle. You know that Trump's going to get his head won on August 4th, which is the 216th day of the year, and Ohio's the 17th state. And did you know that JFK, he died in the 28th state? JFK was killed in the 28th state. 1 through 7 equals 28. If you add up all the numbers between 1 through 7, you get 28. I told you Trump's going to get his head won in the 17th state, and 28 plus 17 equals 45. That's the number for, the bridge number. And I told you that Trump is the 45th president, right? But he's also the 47th, because that's what I'm saying. The bridge is the connection. 28 plus 17 is 45. Anyway, so 1-7, the 17th, get it? And he was killed in the 28th state, JFK. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. Look, if you minus 784 from 1,000, that's its reverse number, 216. Do you get it? Because that's the reset numbers. The 000, because like a 10 is a reset, 100 is a reset, 1,000, 10,000. In tens is the reset connection. Do you get it? So that's why 216's reverse date would be 784. All right, are you getting that? All right. Yes, I've talked about that with the Ohio, everything with Ohio. You guys got to watch my videos. I've talked about it. Okay, so I just want to make sure you guys understood that. And of course, August 4th on a leap year is the 217th day. It's all connected. Okay. Anyway, so back to what we were talking about, because remember the square root of 784 is 28. That's why I was showing you the 784 is connected to August 4th. Okay. Now watch what I'm going to show you here. You remember earlier when I showed you the connection about if you went from this year 6/11 2025 backwards 28,033 days, 28,033 days, it lands on 9/11. Remember that? Now watch what happens when we go to this date from George Washington's second birthday, because his first birthday was 2/11/1731, and they changed it for the whole Elvis connection. But so from George Washington's birthday to that 9/11 date that I've told you was so important, earlier, and then just showed right now. Look at that. It's 79084 days. 79084 days. Why am I saying it like that? Because look, 79. Trump turns 79 on June 14th, and his head wound's going to be on August 4th. 7984. You see that? And the O, which is the portal, the crown, the head. And look at that. Look at these numbers. 216. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. You see what I'm saying? It's just interesting that it landed on that day with those numbers. That's all I'm saying. And of course, like I said, Trump is going to be 79 on August 4th. And Trump's age right now during 6/11 will be 78, and that's why back here the square root of 784 is connected. See, during June 11th, he's still going to be 78. And I told you the June 11th has to connect to the August 4th. So you have the connection of the 7-8 because Trump's going to be 78 still, but he's connected to the 8-4. It has to go to the 8-4. Okay? It's all connected. Okay? I don't know how to explain it, any differently than what I'm saying. It's basically impossible to explain all this. And Trump, he was shot on 7/13, but the time on the clock was 6/11. Okay? When Trump got his ear clipped, his supposed ear clipped, the date was 7/13, which if you turn those letters upside down, it would equal LIE, and you know what that is. But anyway, he got his ear clipped at the time was 6/11. Okay, and why am I showing that? Because from 6/11, from that day he got his ear clipped, the time was 6/11 to the date 6/11 this year is 333 days or 334 if you add the days. So think of the numbers 3334. 3334, okay? Why am I showing you that? Because look, I told you that 33 years, 3 months, 4 days is 3328%, which I told you those numbers earlier. And look, 334 is the reverse of 666. And 3334 is the reverse of 6666, and I told you twin is 6666. Okay. Anyway, the point is that they're up to some weird diabolical mathematical ridiculous equations that for us to understand. See, you guys don't understand. Look, I'm not saying you don't understand. I apologize for saying that. What I'm saying is, why am I showing all this stuff? Is because whatever they're doing, they don't have to do all these numbers. They have one particular number that fits all of this. See, when you're advanced math, I'm a complete dummy with math. I have no concept of it. You're looking at a guy who all he knows how to do is add, subtract, and multiply. I don't know nothing else. Okay, I don't understand anything above that. All right. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that they can do mathematical equations. They can have just one particular perfect number that makes all of the puzzle perfect. Does that make sense what I'm saying? And whatever numbers don't make the perfect connection, they'll do it with a ritual and connect it, They put a piece of the puzzle on top of it, They add something to make it perfect, So whatever this magical, mathematical, satanic rituals that they're doing, they know much more than we do. Okay, so for me to showing all this, I shouldn't have to show all this, but we, later on we'll understand it, Okay. And let me move on from this. Like I said, look, I have this much left. This one is going to be good. This is good too, but just keep, watching. So remember earlier we were focused on the 8228, remember? Then we went to the 3328, and then we went basically to the 28. Now we're going to be focusing on the 5728. You'll understand why in a minute. And earlier I showed a little 5-7 connection, so with that month chart. So get ready. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So remember, Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown the year Elvis died, okay? and slew means to violently kill. It's the past tense of the word slay. They're going to slay Seattle. That's what they're saying. But really, it's Washington State. They're going to take a bite out of the Apple State. Washington is the Apple State. Anyway, pay attention. Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown 6-11, right? But Seattle Slew, he died on 5/7 at the age of 28. 5/7 at the age of 28. Okay? That's the date. And remember, MLK was killed in Memphis, Tennessee. And Elvis lived in Memphis, Tennessee. Elvis was known as the king. Martin Luther King was killed in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived and died. So the king had the king whacked. And now Martin Luther King is named after the King County where Seattle is. So from Martin Luther King's death date, where he died in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived and died. Where Elvis lived and died. The king had the king whacked. Look, from that date that he got whacked to 6/11 is 57 years, 2 months, 8 days. What did I just tell you? Seattle Slew died on 5/7 at the age of 28. Are you looking at it? From Martin Luther King's his death date, to 6/11 is 57 years, 2 months, 8 days when you add the day. Are you getting that? Are you seeing it? I just want to make sure you're seeing it before I move to the next thing. Are you guys getting how important that is? He dies, Seattle Slew died at 5/7, on 5/7 at the age of 28. From MLK's death date, because MLK is connected to Elvis, because he died in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived and died. And he's now named after the Seattle's King County. Okay? Because they're going to destroy that Washington State part of it. Now, so remember, Seattle Slew died on 5/7 at the age of 28, right? Now, the Twin Towers, when it opened on 4/4, MLK's death date, but a different year. From that year to 9/11 is 28 years, 5 months, 7 days. Are you getting it? Are you seeing it? So MLK to 6/11 this year is 57 years, 2 months, 8 days. Seattle Slew died on 5/7, age 28. From the Twin Towers opening date, which is on MLK's death date, 28 years, 5 months, 7 days to the Twin Towers collapse. Are you understanding that? Are you seeing it? This is impossible, okay? And of course, on that same day, when the Twin Towers opened, you had the airing date of Elvis's Honolulu satellite concert, the biggest concert ever. That's the Honolulu from Hawaii concert, where 1.5 billion people saw it. 1.5 billion. Okay? Now, here's a connection to Kobe. Watch this Kobe connection. From Elvis's death date to the day Kobe scored his highest ever points, 81 points, it was in the 666th game. It was 28 years, 5 months, 7 days. What the hell? Why? Why did they do this? And you know that Kobe was taken down for Elvis. If you've seen my Kobe videos, you know that it's the exact amount of days from Elvis's death and Seattle connecting from Elvis's birthday. You have to see the video in order to understand it, okay? Kobe's death has to do with Elvis's and Seattle Slew. I'm not going to show it here, but the fact that it was the 666th game, that's why they needed some kind of weird connection with it. Don't ask me. But look, it's that 28 with the 5/7. Seattle Slew died at the age of 28 on the date 5/7. Are you understanding? Okay. Now, You know, Trump, I told you during 6/11, he's still 78 years old, and the year is 25. So that's the same numbers again as the as the date. Look, it's 2857. See, 2857. It's the same four numbers, but it's a little off. This one is no big deal, you know, what I'm showing there. But look, if you were to go forward from Elvis's birthday, if you went forward 28 years, 5 months, 7 days, it lands on Trump's birthday. There's that 2857 again. Seattle Slew died at the age of 28 on the date 5/7. You see, and it lands on Trump's birthday. Okay? And if you were to go backwards from Elvis's birthday, this is forward, because see, Elvis's birthday is the middle ground between Trump and Obama. Elvis is the middle ground, because look, I know that the amount of days is not the same, because, you know, in February, in February, that's why you have 5 months, 7 days here, because of that February has too short of days, you know. Over here, it's 5 months, 5 days from Elvis's birthday backwards to Obama's birthday. Okay? And that's the year Elvis turned 55. Satan equals 55. Look, from Obama's birthday, go forward 28 years. It lands on in 1990 when Elvis turned 55. And that year, the Super Bowl score was 55-10, and Satan equals 55-10. The year Elvis turned 55. So what I'm saying is, it's the same amount of days. By the way, it's the same amount of days. Look, 10385 days. 10385 days, but it's 5 months, 7 days, because that February has 2 extra days. You understand? And that's why it's the same amount of days going backwards to Obama or going forward to Trump's from Elvis's birthday. Okay, my hand's about to fall off. Sorry, I gotta stop. Man. So anyway, the point is, I was connecting all the 2857 because Seattle Slew died at the age of 28, and he died on the date 5/7, right? Oh, man. And if you go backwards, remember just now I just showed you from Elvis's birthday, you go forward 28 years, 5 months, 7 days, it lands on Trump's birthday. If you go backwards from Elvis's birthday, it's to Obama's birthday, was 28 years, 5 months, 5 days, but the exact same amount of full, you know, like the total days is the exact same. But one is 5 months, 5 days, 1 month. But now if you were to go backwards from Elvis's birthday, 28 years, 5 months, 7 days, instead of to Obama's birthday, go 2 more days, this is where it would land. See, now it becomes the exact same perfect days that what I was saying going forward, because Seattle Slew died at the age of 28, and he died on the date 5/7. But look, it's 8/2, right, from Elvis's birthday backwards. That's J.D. Vance's birthday, 8/2/84. He was born, and you have the 8/4. See what I mean? Because you understand. This is from Elvis's birthday backwards to Obama's birth. It's 28 years, 5 months, 5 days. This is 5 months, 7 days. And it lands on 8/2 and 84. This is 8/4 from Elvis's birthday. Do you get it? So from Elvis's birthday to 8/2 is exactly 5 months, 7 days. This is 5 months, 5 days. All right, it's because it connects to the 5/7. That's what I'm trying to make you understand. Okay, are you getting it? I know it's difficult to understand. Do you think this is easy to explain? Okay, it's absolutely impossible. You know. Anyway, Seattle Slew, his date was 5/7. He died at the age of 28, and from Elvis's birthday to my birthday. Not the exact day. I'm saying just to get that 5/7/28 connection. If you went 5 years, 7 months, 28 days, it lands on my birthday. And there was two of them born, and Elvis and Jesse equal the exact same 67, and there was two of them that day when they were born. But anyway, if you went from Elvis's birthday forward 5 years, 7 months, 28 days, which has that connection right here, it lands on 9-4. That's all I was saying. Now, this is not so important. Like I said, the good stuff is coming. I only have a little bit more to go. But speaking of the date 5-7 and age 28, it's, with those numbers, the square root to get exactly 57 and exactly 28 is at 3249 and 784. To get the exact one, 28 and 57 exactly. And look, if you add up the numbers, it's 4033. Look at that. 4033 is this. You know how important that is. The 84th prime is 433. August 4th is the 217th day of the year on leap year. Add that up, it's 433. 84, August 4th, get it? 84th is 433. 2016, 2017 is 4033. That's when Obama and Trump were president. And Washington had two birthdays, adds up to 433. See? It's all connected to what I'm showing, all these connections. Okay? Now, the good stuff is coming right now, okay? So basically, there was 5 or 6 really good connections in this video. I mean, really good. But the rest are just, okay and a little bit okay, But you got to watch the whole thing or you're not going to grasp why it's important, And can you guys thumb up the video? Because just give me one more minute. This is all I have left, but it's going to take a few minutes, but this is the best part of the video. I'm just reading the comments here. All right. Yeah. Hit that thumb up button. And make sure you guys comment under the comment section after the video's up. All right, here we go. So remember, we're talking about 2882, right? So what is 2 times 8? It is 16. 2 plus 8 is 10. It has the 611 with a crown. You see it? 2 plus 8 and 2 times 8. All right. So there's a connection to the 611 with a crown. Okay. Or the 911 upside down, whatever way you want to see it. And look, remember the 4/4 MLK's death date and connection? From the date 28 to 6/11 is 4 months, 4 days. Because remember the 28 we're talking about, right? 28 days is 7.67, and 76 is the second time you see the number 162 when written out, because 67 is the first time. 67 or 76, because they both equal the exact same exact letters, is the first time you see the 162. June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. So 28 days has those two numbers, 76 and 67. Do you understand? Okay. That's why this 28 is so important. Okay. Now look at this. The first time that you see a crown on the number 28 is at the 280th prime. 28 with a crown equals 1811. The clock time, 611, military time is 1811. Okay? So the 280th, and by the way, I believe that 280 days might be 9 months, 4 days, which is my birthday, but it's, my birthday is 8 months, 4 days into the year, but it lands on 9/4. But 280 days is 9 months, 4 days, I think. So somebody might want to check that. But that's like a pregnancy, 280 days, the rebirth. Because I told you they're going to birth the EL out of the L state, Seattle. Seattle's anagram is the EL state, Elvis. But anyway, you have the 1811. Okay, 1811. You see, at the 28 with a crown. Okay, that's all I'm saying right there. And you know that the Space Needle is 63 years old right now. And you know, on that day, the Pope died on its anniversary day, 421. And look, Seattle Slew died on 5/7. From 5/7 to 6/3 is 28 days. See, at the 63, it's at the 28. That's why I'm saying this was probably what they were waiting for, like I said, you know. And who died in 63? Who died in 63? JFK. And where was JFK killed? In Texas. Texas is the 28th state. 63, 28, JFK killed in the 28th state, 63rd. You understand? In 1963, 28, 63. Seattle Slew, you understand? Died on 5/7. From 5/7 to 6/3 is 28 days. Seattle Slew is 63. Seattle Space Needle is 63 years old now. Okay? Okay, you understand? Okay? And now look at this. So keep looking. We're talking about the 28. Elvis is born on 1/8. If you add up all the numbers between 1 through 8, it's 36. So how does the 8 get to the 36? With the 28. 8 plus 28 is 36. 8 to 8. I told you, Seattle. Remember, I told you what Elvis equaled with a crown. 8228. The word portal equals 8228. So Elvis is born on 1/8. Add up all the numbers between 1 through 8, you get 36, which is the 666, because 1 through 36 is 666. What does Elvis need to get to the 36? 28. 8 plus 28 equals 36. Okay? That's the connection he needs. Do you understand? And then he needs the 9, because 1 through 9 equals 45. And how does he get to the 45? Remember, I'm trying to explain that to you with the Trump connection, you know? And 28 plus 17 is 45. Do you get it? And that's why Trump has to get his head won in Ohio, the 17th state. All right? And also, same thing with because Elvis was born on the 8th day. 8 with the TH equals 28. See, it's the same thing. 8th. 8 TH, T 20th letter, H is 8th letter plus the 8. 8 TH equals 36. And 1 through 8 equals 36, right? So you understand? It's all connected perfectly, all right? The 8 needs the 28 to get to the 666, the 3 sixes, okay? Yeah, it's all about the bridge and the portal. Again, remember, Elvis is born on the 8th day. What is the square root of 8? 2.8 with a bunch of numbers behind it. There it is right here. See it? This is the full number. And look, you have another 28. Look at that. 82. 8, and then 28 and 28. But I'm just saying, who cares about those numbers? The point is the first two numbers. 8, then 2.8. That's, there it is. That's the first time you see 2.8 at the 8 mark. Elvis is born on the 8th day, and he needs the 28. Elvis with a crown equals 82, 28. Portal equals 82, 28. All right? Is this perfect or not? I'm asking you with these connections. Just keep watching. It gets better. This is where I'm, how they show the fireworks at the end of the show and it gets better and better? I'm trying, that's what I'm working on to get to. So what is the square root of 28? 529. And then a bunch of numbers. But the first three is what I'm looking at, 5.29. Why is this important? The 28th, the square root of 28 is 5.29 and a bunch of numbers behind it. And if you look at this, you have the 15, which is the letter O. You have a crown. But look, 5.29 at the square root of 28. Why is that important? Because JFK died in the 28th state and he's born on 529. Are you looking? Do you think these are coincidences? Are you understanding what I'm saying? And what is the reverse date of 529? His birthday is August 4th. August 4th is the 216th day of the year, which leaves 149 days. 529 is the 149th day of the year. So August 4th, the day Trump gets his head wound, is the reverse date of JFK's birthday. Okay? So he was killed in the 28th state. The 28th square root is 5.29. Okay. Now, what's the reverse date of JFK's death date? 11/22. 11/22's reverse date is 2/8. See that? So the reverse date of 11/22 is 2/8. Okay. And remember, I just showed you that the reverse date of August 4th. Oh, let me show you this, what this means. So pay attention closely. That way you can understand what a perfect puzzle this is. My two predictions are 6/11 and August 4th. Now pay attention. On the Julian calendar, the calendar we used to be on, 6/11 would be 529 on the Julian calendar. August 4th would be 7/22 on the Julian calendar. Now, the reversed date of a date, 529's reverse date is August 4th. 6/11's reverse date is 7/22. So did you see what I just showed you? So 6/11 on the Julian calendar is 529. 529's reverse date is August 4th. August 4th, Julian calendar, 7/22. 7/22's reverse date is 6/11. 6/11 on the Julian calendar is 529. 529's reverse date is August 4th. August 4th, Julian calendar, 7/22. 7/22's backwards date. It's a perfect circle. You understand? It's a perfect circle. Okay, and I can show you the days in between all of this. It's perfect also, but I'm not going to show it here. I've shown it already in the past. Okay? Now, let me put this down before I show you the rest, because I don't have much to go. I can't even feel my fingers, folks. I have, what do I have left? I have about like 15 cards left. Okay? Just give me a moment. Now you guys are funny. Make sure you thumb up the video. And make sure you comment after the video is over. All right, so get ready, folks. I told you, the best part's coming. Yeah. So remember I showed you this in my older video. You'll see how this connects, but just follow along right now. You'll see how I'm going to connect it. Oh, man, I can't. I tell you folks, my hand's killing me. I can't even hold the phone anymore. My hand is shaking so bad. Oh, man, hold on. All right. So remember I showed you this in my older videos? Because I told you the word God equals 26. Elvis turned 26 the year Obama was born. I told you the 15 is the crown. So Elvis with the crown. God with a crown. Okay? God equals 26. Okay? So that was in 1961 when Obama was born. Also, that's when the Space Needle construction started. But it opened in 62. Okay? But listen. So you add up all these numbers. Okay, you get 110, and I told you how important that is with the Twin Towers being 110 floors each. And you add up is 66 for Trump's age, and all of Obama's age is 6. So you get the 666. And that's at the 64 mark. And why is that important? Because see, Obama this year on August 4th goes from the age 63 to 64. Okay? So on the date August 4th is the 666 connection will happen. All of this will happen on the 666 because Obama goes from 63 to 64, his age. All right? That's why it's important right here, the 666 connection. Now, why am I showing you this? Because pay attention. Remember, he goes on August 4th this year, he goes from the age 63 to 64, right? And I just showed you that it connects to the 666, the year 63 to 64 ending. Okay? So, 63, 64, August 4th, Trump head wound is on that day when Obama turned 64. Okay? What is the square root of 84 with a crown? Because remember, the head wound is the crown, the head. Just like JFK's head, 84 with a crown is, pay attention, okay? 28.9. This is the last number in the 28s. Pay attention. 840, the crown, is the last number of the 28 square root. After that is 841. It becomes 29. So remember what I just showed. Pay attention. Obama goes from the 63rd year to the 63 to 64, and it has a 666 connection. But look at look at Elvis's age, 28, 29, and I told you that Obama turns from 63 to 64 that day. 63 to 64, you have the 666. Elvis goes from 28 to 29 in this category, okay? Now, why am I showing that? Because August 4th is when all of this happens. If the last one is 28, it goes to 29. All right? From 84 to 841 is, okay, it becomes exact right here, but this is the last one in the 28s is at the 840. And what I'm trying to imply is that it's right at that moment. Okay, it's right at that moment. And why am I for sure about this? At the 840, 841 mark, because remember, from Obama's birthday to the day JFK was killed is 840 days. If you don't add the day, 841 when you add the day. Are you looking? Are you understanding? 840, 841 is the 28 to the 29. And Obama turns from 63 to 64. You'll get that 666 connection. And 28 to 29 is the Elvis connection, which is the 28 to the 29 there. Okay? At the 840, 841 mark. And from Obama's birthday, because that's where it started to count, at the year 61. Remember, if you've seen my videos, you know how important that date is to them. And it's from Obama's birth to the day JFK was killed is 840 if you don't add the day, 841 if you add the day, okay? Now, if you think these are coincidences, pay attention. Remember, this is 8/4/11/22 and 840. See? If you put a crown, the letter O, on Elvis Aaron Presley, put a crown on Donald John Trump, put the letter O, the crown, on Barack Hussein Obama, look what you get. Look at the totals. Look at the totals. 840/11/22. Are you seeing it? Do you understand how perfect that is? When I just showed you that it's from 8/4/11/22 is 840 days. See? 8/4 to 11/22. See what I'm saying? And that's with these three idiots, the triple crown. The triple crown right there. See it? Oh, man, hold on, folks. My hand's about to fall off. Oh, man, I hope you guys can understand this. And remember that August 4th is so important because It's the 6 times 6 times 6. Do you understand? That's the day Trump gets his head wound on Obama's birthday. It's all connected to each other. And that's the day it's 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. Elvis Aaron Presley. His full name equals 216. I told you that's the day he enters Trump. Okay? And if you still think it has no connections, pay attention. Why? How does June 11th connect with this? Look, Elvis Aaron Presley with a crown. The letter O. Elvis Aaron Presley, Seattle, Washington, June 11th, 2025 equals 840. And it ends with 1122. Look at that. And look at here, 2882. There's your numbers of Seattle equaling 82 and Seattle Slew dying at the age of 28. Look at that, will you? And yes, Elvis, I've mentioned that too. Elvis, 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. Elvis is born on 1/8. Yes. Are you understanding how impossible these connections are? Okay? Is anyone following me here? Do you not understand how impossible what I just showed you is? Are you guys following how impossible that is? Oh, man. Anyway, if people want me to show you that, I can show you I can put it into the calculator. You'll see what I'm talking about. If you want to test it, watch. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. I can't even open it. Hold on. Oh man, it's not letting me open it. What? Oh, there it is. Okay, here it is. Look. See, I'm not making it up. See, the letter O, which is the crown, Elvis Aaron Presley, Seattle, Washington, June 11, 2025. See? 840 and then 1122. This is the backward numbers. Forget about that. I'm just showing you the forward numbers right now, which is more important. You know, that's why I didn't show you the back numbers because it's too convoluted. But look, it's got the 330 and it's got the 28 and 82. Remember that? Remember I showed you those connections earlier with the 330, 28 and 330, 82? You remember that earlier? Oh, no, I got to show that again with this. That's important. Hold on. Where is that card? I gotta go all the way back to the beginning. Hold on. I got very little left to show. Just give me a second. I gotta show that. That was important. Where is it? Is this it? Here it is. Look at this. You remember I told you from Elvis's birthday, from Elvis's birth to 6/11 this year is 33028 days, and from Elvis's birth to August 4th, is 33082. So you have the 330 with the 28 and the 82. Remember? Look at that. You have the 330 right there and the 282. So you have the 82 and the 28 with the 330. Look at that. Interesting. I'm just saying. Pretty interesting. But the main thing is that the main part was that what did I do with it? I don't even know what I'm talking about. What was it? Oh, the main part was that it equaled 840 plus it had the 1122. Wait, listen, you gotta watch it again. I'm not gonna go through it again. All right, I'm almost finished, folks. You know, I guess I'm gonna have to ban somebody from the channel. They just don't listen. You know, I've told you a million times, don't distract the chat with just a million different nonsense comments. You know, some of it's good, some of it is not necessary, but it's not connected to the video. I'm trying to help people concentrate. If they're seeing 8 million different comments from somebody that has nothing to do with the video, it's going to distract. I don't understand what part of that you don't understand. And everyone in the channel knows what I'm talking about. But I guess, I'm trying to be gentle with this person, and I've warned them about 800 times already, but they don't listen. All right, like I said, it's going to end with a bang here. Give me a second here. I'm almost done. So remember I told you earlier that the word portal equals 8228, just like this. The word portal equals exactly Elvis with a crown. Oh, here it is right here. So remember, Seattle Slew died at the age of 28, and the word Seattle equals 82. 8228, you see it? With the Seattle Slew dying and the word Seattle. Okay? So I told you that Elvis with a crown, the letter O, and portal equals exactly the same, right? I don't know why I'm showing that right now, because what I'm about to show next doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I showed this, but whatever, you understand. Anyway, remember I told you that Seattle Slew died on 5/7. Look, from 5/7 going forward to, if you went forward 611 days, it lands on Elvis's birthday. But if you add the day, it's 612 days. But up to that day, it's 611 days. And Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown on 6/11. And Seattle Slew died on 5/7. From 5/7 to Elvis's birthday, it's 611 or 612 if you add the day. Anyway, no big deal on that. I thought this might be a little interesting. That, I'm telling you, 6/11 is when it gets struck, Washington State. Look at the clock. From 6 to 11 is 5 hours. From 11 to 6 is 7 hours. There's that 5/7. Seattle Slew died on 5/7. Look at that. And if you did minutes, it's 25 minutes and 35 minutes. So that's another connection. But it doesn't connect as well as this one, 5/7. Because Seattle Slew died on 5/7. 5 hours, 7 hours there. Anyway, why am I bringing this up? Let's keep going. From the first of the year to 5/7, which is Seattle Slew's death, it's 4 months, 7 days. There's that 47 connection I was showing earlier. Elvis has been dead for 47 years, and Trump is the 47th president. So you have connections with that. And of course, the 47 is super important to this puzzle, which I've explained. 4 plus 7 is 11. 4 times 7 is 28. 1128. And if you add up all the numbers between 1 through 47, you get 1128. You see it? 47, 47. Elvis has been dead 47 years. Trump 47th president. 1 through 47 equals 1128. You see what I mean? A lot of connection. And of course, 4 times 7 is 28. Remember I told you that? What you're seeing here is 4 sevens. 4 sevens. Get it? 1, 2, 3, 4 sevens. Christ equals 77. And then if you have another Christ, that would be the Antichrist. 77 plus 77 equals 154. The Antichrist equals 154. So the second Christ, which is the double cross, you understand, is the Antichrist. Okay? That's where the 47, get it? 4 sevens. All right? And earlier I showed you that the 280th prime had a connection to 611 because it was 1811, which is military times 611, 1811. But look at this, 283rd prime, 28 with another crown, because the letter O and the number 0 is a crown, but so is the 3 or the W. The W looks like a 3 and the 3 is a crown. So the 283rd prime is 1847. 1/8 to 4/7 is 90 days. That's from Elvis's birthday to 4/7, and Elvis turned 90 years old this year. So you have the 90 connection too, see? To the 4/7. 1/8 to 4/7. 1/8 to 4/7. Get it? 28 with a crown, you know? And also it's the 82 number, same thing, you know? 2882. Remember I showed you this earlier, remember? The 280 with a crown. So it's 2 crowns, you understand? 3 and 8. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to show that. Where is it? Oh man, I didn't bring it here. Remember I told you the 3 looks like a W? The W on top of Elvis, because Elvis equals 67. W is the 23rd letter. 67 plus 23 equals 90. So there's another. See, I told you it's all connected. 63 plus 67. Elvis equals 67. 67 plus 23 is 90. And Elvis turned 90. You know what I mean? Okay? Because I told you the O is a crown and the 3 is a crown. Okay? And that's why I'm showing you the O here. 28 with an O. With the 0. Because 0 or letter O. And it connects to the 611, right? And, okay, I'm almost done. Just give me a second. My hand's about to fall. I only got like 4 more cards left. Hold on. So check this out. So this is like reaching what I'm about to show, but even if it is reaching, it's still crazy, the connection. Let me just show you this. So remember, we're talking about the 28, because Seattle Slew died at the age of 28, and he won the Triple Crown 611, and that's the date I'm telling you that Washington State is going to get struck. Look at this. The 28,611th prime number is 332573. If you were to add that to the 28611, look what you get. 361184. Why is that important? Because what did I tell you the 3 is? The 3 is a crown. See? The 3 is the crown, right? Look, see? 61184. I mean, I'm just saying that's a pretty big coincidence that the 28611 prime number, and I could, by the way, I could show you how incredible these numbers are too by itself, but I don't want to get into what that's about. But I was saying this is incredible right here, saying 361184 when you add them up together, and you get the crown number, So that's just interesting right there. Now, speaking of the 28611, from Elvis's birthday, if you went forward 28 years, 6 months, 11 days, which is what I was just showing you, because Seattle Slew died at the age of 28 and he won the Triple Crown on 6/11. If you go from if you go forward 28 years, 6 months, 11 days, it lands on that particular date right there. And from that date in 1963 to 6/11 this year is 61 years, 10 months, 25 days. Look at that. It's 611 with a crown and in the year 25. You see what I mean? And it's also the reset numbers 1 through 25. But 611 with a crown and 25. All right? So that's a connection right there because the date is 6/11/25. See what I mean? And the crown. So that's a big deal right there, okay? And and remember, this was 28 years, 6 months, 11 days. How about 6 years, 11 months, 28 days? If you went forward from Elvis's birthday, 6 years, 11 months, 28 days, and then go to 6/11 from that date, it's 84 years, 5 months, 8 days. Look at that. You have the 8/4, and I told you 8/4 lands on an 8/5 and on leap year, so it connects to each other. Then he comes back 4 days later, or 3 or 4 days later, whatever. He, like either Lazarus or Jesus, he raises from the dead. Okay, 84 years, because Trump's gonna get his head wound on 8/4. You know, so it even connects because 6/11 has to connect to the 8/4. You'll understand that in a moment, which I've explained many times. And oh, and by the way, from August 4th, if you went forward 28 years, 6 months, 11 days, it lands on 2/14. 2/14 is the 45th day of the year, and that year Elvis turned 55 and 90. But look, from that day to to 9/11 is 11 years, 6 months, 28 days. If you don't add the day, look at that. 28, 6/11, then it goes 11, 6, 28. I thought that was interesting, you know, from Obama's birth to 9/11. All right. Anyway, so anyway, last thing I'm gonna show. This everyone's already seen this. This is nothing. This is nothing new. So my two predictions are 6/11 and 8/4. Okay. And what is in between my two predictions is 55 days. What's the chance that Satan is in between 6/11 and 8/4? If you add the day from 6/11 to 8/4 is 55 days. And Satan equals 55. Okay? And you know 8/4 is the 216th day of the year. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. That's the day Trump gets his head wound on Obama's birthday. Elvis Aaron Presley equals 216. So that means that 8/4 from 6/11 to 8/4, the 55 days, Satan needs that 666, right? And 8/4 is the 666 connection because 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. But see, Satan, he needs that 666. But how can Satan get to the 666? What does he need? He needs the 611 because 611 plus 55 is 666. Do you understand? So that means is exactly what you just saw here. That's 611. Satan is 55. 611 plus 50 plus 55. I told you it equals 666. And 8/4 is the 6 times 6 times 6 day of the year. Do you get it? Okay. Hold on, man. I can't even hold my. I switch hands for a second. Okay, are you understanding that? How simple this is? Satan needs the 666. Satan equals 55. What does he need to get to 666? 611. Okay, that's what he needs. End of story. Okay, if you guys can't understand this, then there might be no hope for you. if you can't understand what I just showed, there might not be any hope for you. Anyway, that's it, folks. Like I said, there was incredible info in this video, and there was, you know, some okay info, you know, some convoluted info. All right, folks. I think we've had it. Any last words? Yeah, I appreciate that. Even though you're getting on my nerves with your 8,000 comments. Man, you're just something else, man. You know who I'm talking about, too. She pretends like she doesn't know what I'm. She pretends like she just ignores me. She makes good comments, but she just doesn't know etiquette. But she makes good comments. Anyway, any last words, folks? I'll stay on another couple minutes here to end it. Anyone new to the channel, you got to go to the live section of this channel. Do you hear me? If you're new to the channel, go to the live section. That's where all my recent videos are. I haven't done a pre-recorded video in over a year, so don't go to the video section. Go to the live section of this channel to see my new, all the recent videos I'm saying. That's where I've been doing all my videos, under the live section. All right. So, anything you guys want to say before I end the chat? Make sure you thumb up the video, people. All right. Like I said, you're not doing it for me. I could care less. You're doing it for the algorithms. Yeah, I appreciate everyone who listen. Everyone who really follows the channel understands everything I'm saying. But of course, sometimes it's going to be convoluted if you're new to the channel. I'm saying it's going to be a little convoluted. But if you watch all the live streams, you'll catch up and understand where I'm going. It's already up there, yeah. That's funny. Yeah, somebody thumbed up the video, yeah. 55. Yeah, the algorithm. Yeah. I showed that years ago, about the 4 dates circling earlier. Yeah. For the people who were, I showed that years ago. That's not the new. But maybe new to you. Yeah, I know, Kenley. They don't want to thumb up my video. Well, that's why I said maybe on June 11th, it might happen. It might. It doesn't have to. That it might happen after 4 p.m. That way, it would be the next day in the UK. So, because 611 touching the 612 connection, you know. Because on a leap year, 611 lands on 612, you know. So that's why I'm saying it could happen after 4 p.m., you know. Yeah, that's funny. You guys are funny. Yes, I'll be doing a live stream every day. Not from Washington. I don't live in Washington. Listen, if you live in Washington State, you got to get out of Washington State before June 11th. Okay? That's the bottom line. You got to get out of Washington State before June 11th. They're going to take a bite out of the Apple State. You understand? Remember, 9/11 was the Big Apple. Washington State is the Apple State. And the biblical Beast Out of the Sea event is the June 11th event that I'm talking about. And it's also biblical because it's the bite out of the apple. Like, they talk about, eating from the fruit of the tree. They're going to take a bite out of the Apple State. And when did the apple with the bite on it, the logo for the computer, it came out the year Elvis died. The year Elvis died, the Apple logo with the bite on it came out. And what was the first Apple computer worth? $666. and 66 cents. So you had all the sixes, 66666. You know. So what I'm trying to say is that it's letting you know it's connected to the 666, the apple. You know, because Satan is the one who had, you know, them eat from the fruit of the tree, right? They're just assuming it's an apple, you know. But um, you know, the point is that it's connected to the apple, 9/11 and 6/11, you know. And also Manhattan has the double cross, Seattle has the double cross, and Manhattan's in New York, and Seattle. What did the white settlers call Seattle before it was Seattle? See, they called it New York. See, Seattle, New York. See what I'm talking about? So that's why I'm saying it's all connected to this puzzle. You understand? Um, so these aren't coincidences. Well, look, listen. Just get. What is so hard about getting out of Washington State just for one day? That's all I'm asking you guys to do. You know, leave before June 11th, one day, and then don't come back for one day. Get as far away from the north and the west side, and I mean, get away from the west, all of the west side of Washington, all of the north side. You know, stay southeast. You know, go east and south as far as you can. Yeah, I see what you're saying about Elvis has left the building. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, and the Apple is the iPet goat connection. If you've seen that video, that stupid video. Yeah, I've talked about that many times. That's what it's representing. I've done many videos about that. Is the guitar pick stuck? No. I was like, what? I thought you were saying was the guitar pick stuck on? Oh, there it is. It is stuck. Sorry. Yeah, I have a guitar pick stuck to my hand. That's funny. It's happened before. Yeah, they're gonna birth. That's what I'm saying. What you're seeing in that iPet goat, they birthed the Antichrist out of the sea. That's why you see the apple breaking into the letter C. They're telling you the water. That's what they're telling you. It's gonna be birthed out of the sea. The because the lotus represents the rebirth. You know. Yeah, of course, we're going to pray that it doesn't happen. Obviously, we're going to pray that it doesn't happen. But you can't stop biblical prophecy because I'm telling you, it's the biblical beast out of the sea event. And then the August 4th event is the biblical head wound event, the beast. But the June 11th Washington State event is the biblical beast out of the sea. And one of its heads has a head wound. So that's where Trump head wound comes in on August 4th. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, that song, and I can give you the rest of it. Someone's saying something. That's a good one. That last three numbers that you're talking about with that song. The 309 connects to something to do with Trump, but I'm not going to tell anyone because I have a video coming about that. But that's a good one. I might have to add that part, uh, Christina. What? What do you mean a song by Satan called 2025? Song called 2025 by Satan. I'm going to ban you if there's no song like that. Song called 2025 by Satan. Where is it? I'm going to ban you from the channel. What? Where is it? I don't see it. Song called 2025 by Satan. Where is it? I don't see it. Do I have to spell it out or something? Oh, here's some. Yeah, where's the lyrics of this song? How do I get the lyrics? Yeah, let's look at the lyrics. No, Cherry, actually C-TAC. I mentioned that before. The C is the Antichrist. Get it? TAC, the Antichrist, out of the C-TAC airport. Here, let's look at the lyrics to this 2025 song by Satan. You can't make this. Is this some kind of trolling or what? So it came to pass in the ancient days of immortality, there would come a great flood, such as the world had never seen. There was pandemonium in the cities and streets, the whole world around. Men, women, and children were crushed in the race for higher ground. Fly together, holy men and kings, fly Godspeed on golden wings. But holy men and kings would die in the year 2025. At first, the people laughed with scorn at the prophet's claim. What is this? Men of faith remained in wait for the rapture that never came. A rushing wall of water so high to cleanse the world of sin. For the few survivors, there was a little choice but to begin again. Fly together, common men and kings, fly full speed on frantic wings. But common men and kings, they died in the year 2025. Fly together, holy men and kings, fly Godspeed on golden wings. Fly, but holy men and kings would die. Common men and kings, they died in the year 2025. What in the heck? That was weird, man. That's a good catch. That is insanity. That's insanity. Oh yeah? I'm gonna look at that too. How do you guys know all these songs? Yeah. Hold on one second. Let's look at these lyrics. I gotta put this as my I gotta hold on. What's the song called? Crack in the World by Sammy Hagar. Lyrics to Crack in the World by Sammy Hagar. It's not coming up. Hold on. I gotta start over. Something wrong with my phone. Lyrics to the song Crack in the World by Sammy Hagar. Yeah, thanks for posting the words. I appreciate that. It was a joke. I'm not gonna ban. It was a joke. I wasn't gonna ban him. Oh, I gotta watch that, HM. You said I can watch it free on YouTube, the whole movie? Hold on one second. Man, I need some more water, man. Hold on. Folks, you got to stop commenting. I got to end the video. It's already almost, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes almost already. Come on. What songs? Anything you guys want to show me about songs, put it in the comments section later. All right, thanks. Yeah. All right, this song is called Crack in the World by Sammy Hagar. What is this? I found out what it is that's been driving me mad. There's no room to breathe between the good and the bad. A crush in between, there's a thin line, but just around the corner there's a change in design. I wish I could walk away and dig what the preachers say, but those words don't satisfy me no more. There's a crack in the world. Just 50 more years, we're all going to know why, when, where, how, and who gets to go. So let's all have a good time before the great divide, because things will start separating come 2025. So look for the subtle clues. It won't make the front page news. That depends upon which side that you choose. There's a crack in the world. Yikes, man. Man, this is like, yeah, this is kind of nerve-wracking, man. I gotta be honest with you. What are we supposed to do, you know? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, folks, God bless all of you. Like I said, folks, pray. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pray for everyone, folks, especially the people in Washington State. But you know, like I said, it could affect much of everywhere if it's that big of an incident. But make sure, listen to me. I told you, you cannot stop biblical prophecy, but you can still pray. All right, pray. That's all we can do. Let God's will be done, but at the same time, God, please, spare your children, spare your children. Help us. Help those over there in Washington State and everywhere that your children are, Lord. All right. Anyway, God bless all of you. If you're late in the chat, make sure you go watch from the beginning the video, okay? But you won't be able to see the live chat right away. You have to wait till they process it. Could take 10 hours if you're going to rewatch it. But listen, if you're new to the channel, go to the live section of this channel. That's where all my recent videos are, the live section, okay? Just press the live button when you go to the channel. All right. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, God bless all of you. Jesus is God. End of video. Make sure you watch this whole video and make sure you watch all my recent videos under the live section. End of video. Jesus is God. I need some water, man. I almost choked. Jesus is God. End of video. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys. Um, what time is it right now? I'll see you guys in either 6 hours, 45 minutes, which is 7 hours from now, basically, or 8 hours from now, or 9 hours from now. No, start over. Yeah, either 7 hours from now, or 8 hours, or 9 hours from now tonight, okay? Because I want to do another live stream. All right, God bless all of you. Jesus is God. End of video.